Hi there, Shymmy. Let's take a look at your newest set of essays. You're looking for a summer job. Let's see what you wrote. Dear Sir or Madam, my name is John Doe, and I am pleased to learn about your open positions for the coming summer. I am 24 years old, and I have been studying software engineering for the last 3 years now. Currently, I am in my senior year, and I am looking for an open position in my study field to gain more experience before I graduate. Fine. The only thing I would change is this I'm. Okay, I would make that I am because it's a formal letter. So you don't want to use contractions in a formal letter, okay? So let's continue. Having reviewed your open positions and in concordance with my previous experience, I would like to apply for the junior system analyst position. I have experience reviewing functional and non-functional software requirements. I have developed different applications from scratch and deployed them. I also have published some scholarly papers related to systems and software analysis. I am a detail-oriented person with skills in analysis, development, and software production. I have some experience leading teams, and I adapt quickly to different ways of work. I enjoy learning and working in teams. Thus, I think I would be a valuable member of your team. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Yours faithfully. Okay, so I like this. You did some really nice things here. You had this lovely piece of grammar here with this participle clause, but I really felt like the rest of the paragraph had too much repetition in the type of sentence structures you had. So look at this. I would like to apply. I have experience. I have done this. I also have done this. I wanted to see more variety here. It felt really repetitive. Okay, even here, I am a detailed person. I adapt quickly. I have an experience. I think like I know it's about you, obviously, but you still need to vary your sentence structure a little bit. Okay. There are lots of ways you can do this. And I know because you do have really strong grammar that you should be able to do this. You don't want the examiner to think, oh my goodness, this is so repetitive in terms of the type of structures used. All right. So the rest of it was lovely. No problems. Let's continue. Okay. So pollution. What's going on with pollution? All right. You again decided to use I don't know what this is here. I have no idea. Maybe it's just notes to yourself. You again decided to use a 5-paragraph structure. I'm not a huge fan of this, and let me explain to you why. This is a problems and solution essays, is it not? Yes. So what ends up happening here, from what I can see, is that you have a paragraph about problems, another paragraph problems, and then one paragraph for solutions. I'm assuming that's how you did it because I see this in order to solve these issues. What that ends up as is basically it's an essay that's somewhat lopsided. And by that I mean that you really focus a lot on the problems and considerably less on the solutions. And why does this matter? Because I want you to take a look at the band descriptors under task achievement. If you look at band 6, it says that covers all parts of the task, but some parts are covered more fully than others. When an examiner sees this kind of paragraph structure, and it's obvious that you spend a lot of time talking about problems, but considerably less with solutions, an examiner could potentially interpret it this way, that you've covered this more fully, the problems more fully than the solutions. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons why I'm not really a big fan of this type of 5-paragraph structure. When you use a 4-paragraph structure, it's a little easier to avoid this, okay? All right, now enough for the theory. Now let's actually look at what you wrote. Air contamination has highly increased in metropolitan cities, here, becoming a major concern for governments and the general population. Even though there might be multiple factors that may contribute to this environmental issue, excessive consumer behavior and the disproportionate, without that D, amounts of vehicles are considered by the majority the prime causes. Get rid of the as. Okay, but where are the problems? You didn't, I'm sorry, not where are the problems. Where are the solutions? You're supposed to mention solutions as well. how can they be solved? Right. So, excessive consumer behavior and the I can't talk today. The disproportionate amount of vehicles are considered by the majority as the are considered by the majority to be the primary causes, yet there are solutions available, even to something that simple. I don't really love that sentence because you've got a lot of different clauses there. You've got this even though, and then you've got the result, and then if you added that, I don't love it. But the point is that you can mention that there are solutions in a relatively simple fashion, and to just show the examiner in your introduction that yes, this essay deals with the problems as well as the solutions. Okay, so let's continue. One-use products have become a trend in developed countries, exploding the consumerism culture to levels never seen before. The idea of buy, throw, buy has a direct impact on overproduction, which results in factories producing a massive amount of products and waste. According to recent research, factories are the number 2 producer of all air pollution in the cities. Consequently, it is evident the relation no. Consequently, is evident the relation. I don't know what happened with your grammar here. Consequently, the relation between the demands for new products and the contamination produced by industries is evident. Okay? Yeah, so consumerism is one of the causes. Fine, let's continue. The exaggerated use of vehicles is the second, not the secondary, the second biggest, perhaps, cause of air contamination in urban areas. In the last decades, the number of automobiles in proportion to the population has doubled. That means that, on average, there are more vehicles than people in the cities. According to the research published by experts, well, that's a little vague, isn't it? How about according to a study by the New York Times? I mean, it's not too specific, but at least it's not this vague. Most people are using their particular automobiles between 12 and 16 hours per day. This increases the demand for fossil fuels, generating in turn an increase in the level of CO2 released into the atmosphere, not just by the vehicles, but by the whole industries related to the use of automobiles. Okay, fine. Just be careful of some of that grammar. In order to solve these issues, the government should implement strategies on both fronts. On one side, public policies to incentivize the use of public transportation must be developed. Increasing the taxes for owners of more than one vehicle, for example, that's not a sentence. That's a fragment. Okay? You could have said one such measure would be to increase the taxes for owners of more than one vehicle, for example. Investing in infrastructure to improve the public transportation system, among others. Again, not a sentence, it's just a fragment. Another solution could be investing in infrastructure to improve the public transportation system. On the other side, all right, we don't say that in English. I know a lot of students are tempted to do this, but we don't say on one side, on the other side. We say on the one hand and on the other hand. Factories and one-use products need to be regulated. Water bottles, plastic bags, and straws, for example, should be retired from the market or have a higher price and taxes in order to discourage their use. Social awareness campaigns could be another strategy to teach the population about the consequences of these behaviors. All right, so I want to talk to you about this paragraph a little bit. I have a couple of suggestions here. First of all, I didn't feel like you developed it enough. You spent all this time developing these ideas. You did not dedicate the same amount of time to this. So, for example, you talked about increasing the taxes if you have more than one vehicle. All right, well, tell me how it would help. You say it's a solution, but you don't tell me how it's a solution. And the same thing here. How would infrastructure for public transportation also be a solution? In what way? Explain it. It might seem obvious to you, but I can assure you it is not obvious to whoever is reading this. Okay? So that's one thing. I thought you needed to develop it more. And then I thought this was okay. The other thing that I wanted to suggest to you, and this would be a good solution to the fact that you had this paragraph structured like problem, and then solution, is what you could have done is because your solutions related to the problems you mentioned, you could have tacked on the solution to the paragraph. Okay, so for example, consumerism. All right, well, um, you talk about that. You could say that one solution for this problem would be to regulate the items that people buy on a daily basis, like water bottles, for example. Okay, so put it in the same paragraph. That's one way you can do a problem solution essay. One way is this, we've got problem paragraph, solution paragraph, but the other way is this. You've got a problem and its solution in one paragraph. Remember that even the solution, though, even if you present it, you still have to support it. You still have to develop it. And that's the problem that I find with most problem and solution essays that are weak in task achievement is that the solutions are not developed. You don't tell me how, not just you, lots of students, don't tell me how the solution is a solution. And that's something I wanted to say. Okay, so right, like here too, social awareness campaigns could be another strategy. All right, well, tell me how, tell me why. So that's what I mean by developing. Let's take a look at your conclusion now. In conclusion, the two main reasons for high levels of pollution and air contamination are excessive consumption and exaggerated vehicle use. Get rid of particular. In order to confront these problems, governments need to implement public policies that help to decrease the excessive use of automobiles and one use products. Higher taxes and awareness campaigns could be strategies to make the population aware of the consequences of this destructive behavior, right? That's lovely. Okay, so I saw again a lot of really nice things in your essays, but still there are some things, there's some room for improvement. So I want you to take the suggestions and try to implement them in your next essays. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions. I'm looking forward to that next set and I want to wish you lots of luck.